You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Howdy.
And it's me, Brian, who needs to be a little bit further away from the microphone, but also his voice is quieter as it's going along anyway. There we go. That's what comes from working with people who constantly make excuses not to have meetings. You don't realise that your voice is shot 3 days after the fact. So in this episode, boy, people don't like taking meetings. And they never talk anyway.
People
who'd
have them.
Hang up.
Yeah.
In this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of August the 5th to August the 11th, 2023, with one solitary exception. And I've copied the wrong episode.
Yeah,
August the 12th to August the 18th. I was going to say that's the solitary exception. We're covering a completely different line.
Really
Yes,
up to date
we're
here.
covering. It's been a long weekend. There was a 5-car pile-up I had to get past, which made the journey take twice
As long
as
as
long.
you weren't doing it, like I think that's important. Yeah.
Hang on, paste without formatting. There we go. Right. You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Howdy.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of August the 12th to August the 18th, 2023, with the solitary exception of me and Roboco 19, Ghost Stories in Roboco. Dwayne, lean a little bit further into your microphone and tell us all about this episode.
There we go. Adjust me back. So it's the God damn it.
Seasonally appropriate. Ooh,
Ooh, spooky
spooky stories in the middle of summertime.
It is our Junji Ito episode where they go to school and meet all the various kinds of ghosts. Is this the first Junji Ito kind of faces that they do?
I thought it was, I thought it was the other dude whose name I keep forgetting.
Yes.
You probably, yeah.
Umezo.
Drifting classroom.
Yeah. Especially like with the school setting in this one. Yeah.
But they are very similar. Usually very, very stark expressions of abject terror.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, later on in the episode, it's also Helck teacher Nube.
Fucking nice, very far callback. But yeah.
Gratuitous references all around. They got to go and walk up an infinite staircase that says, "This is probably the work of Dio or the Infinity Devil."
There's the fly things from Jujutsu Kaisen. Essentially, it's the old, what do they call it? The 7 legends of the skull that
Yes.
skulls in Japan generate. Because I think I first encountered them in an episode of Euroscience Sura. That's where I first met the concept. The original Euroscience Sura. I'd have to specify which one it was. The 80s Euroscience Sura, not the new one. And if they've done that episode in the new one. So essentially the yokai watch type things. Yeah, so it's like stairs which you never get to the top floor.
There's a spooky kid practicing soccer with his own head in the yard, and Roboco's going like, "Oh God, I won't be able to go do that now with my own severed head." And they're like, "That it's you. You're the spook."
What about the old lady who tries to put a quarter into your hands? You gotta play a perfect do note, otherwise she'll kill you. And
Roboco takes it as like, "I'm an order mate. I can't possibly fail at any task I've been given."
It's okay. I've sealed her into my left knee. As evil as it rest now. But we forgot about old man.
Old man leave things
old man
behind.
put away. Yes,
they're there
he wanders
because
to school. If you forget things, leave them after class.
Which is why they come
times.
back at nighttime. Yeah.
They'll come and get you and put you away, probably.
But it turns out it's just their cool teacher. Oh no, Roboco thought he was a ghost and has sealed him in her left knee.
Actually, it's pretty comfy there. It's not so bad, actually.
That was the bit that was kind of getting me. Them having a conversation over, it's like, "Oh, I guess you really stood out for me, Bondo." "Oh yeah, thing." And then the teacher and Roboco with the teacher trapped in her knee having a conversation in the background. I was just like, this is pretty great.
Yes. he's not just trapped in her knee. He's trapped in her knee and has fused with the old lady ghost spirit. And
Yes.
so now he's a recorder man. And so, like, rather than Chainsaw Man having a chainsaw coming out of his head, he's got a recorder coming out of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Even though his head is now on Roboco's left knee.
Which you can play.
Her knee is his head, which it has a recorder coming out of it, like Chainsaw Man. Yeah.
If you're limber enough, you can play it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. It was very silly. And lots of Madoka faces, changing faces to different manga styles depending on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to get to the Shonen Jump double issue one, though, because I watched that one. Was a Shonen Jump double issue. I gave it a week there, and it was pretty superlative, but that's down the line.
Well, we'll get to it. Then we got actually airing this week, Detective Conan 1094. I was saying 1078 to people over the weekend. Like, it's further along than I remembered.
It's up with the One Pieces, weren't you?
I was, yes.
Yeah.
Miyano,
Once you get past 1,000, it's fucking difficult, man. I get it.
Yes. Miyano Akemi's Time Capsule Part 2, in which we discover one of these three people is leading everybody on a false treasure trail.
I didn't figure it out from clues. I did figure it out from framing of characters. So, like, every time they go like, oh, there's a letter here, and then they show the letter or the syllable. But when the fireman goes up to the smoke detector in the auditorium to look at it, he's like, yep, that's the letter that it says up here. It sure does. And I was like, the camera didn't fucking show me that. And also, you keep framing his eyes out of shot. Why do you keep doing that? Is it because he's suspicious?
Yes. And also, at one point, Conan takes a picture of this clue that he's just discovered, and he's asking Conan, "What are you doing, that kid?" And Conan goes, "Oh, you know."
He's still a shit. Yeah.
So yeah, they lead the false trail of clues leads them to conclude that the time capsule was in this old shed which was torn down 10 years ago.
Yeah, they get most of the letters for the tool shed, but they're like, it probably ends in ed, right? It's the tool shed. Yeah. Like, so we'll go to the tool shed. It's like, no, that was torn down fucking like years ago, but after you graduated.
What happened to it? Yes, we go on the library computer, and the teacher says this when she used to be a school librarian. I guess they let the kids be librarians in the school, and then that's the clue Conan's got to figure out the actual puzzle that Akemi had left them. Which turns out to be the way she'd positioned her name and her description as the job of the library was such that there was a different angle to all the clues. So the clues were the keyboard and her name was the seat. So you positioned yourself and revolved the clues to
it's basically like, instead of reading it that way, you turn it like a keyboard and you use the clues on the keyboard to spell out the thing you wanted to spell out.
So
and the very obvious number was about using the function keys.
Yeah, so you spell out the phrase, and then the phrase on the keyboard, the shape those buttons make, are another character, and then you combine the characters that the words make on the keyboard to find the actual clue, which was it was where they're keeping the rabbits.
Yeah, the animal hutch or whatever. Yeah.
And so the suspect goes to find it, but doesn't know where to dig, and then everybody's there going, we found it already. There it is. It had loads of double back clues, and even if it was discovered, there was a note to tell teachers to hide it again.
Yeah, I did like that. It's like, because kids are fucking stupid, and I'm a kid, so I'm going to leave this clue. It's like, I'll put it under the bed where the kids would pretend to be sick going to the nurse's office. I'll also put it on the weighing scales, because some kids might lie about their weight. It's because, like, doctor don't lie. I need to put this clue in multiple places so they can't fuck this up possibly.
Yes, you're right. That was the good bit. Yeah, because
I also did like, it's just like, because it's a time capsule, it's like, oh, that shed got torn down. Oh, I guess we'll never fucking find it. It was left, like, just up in the rabbit hutch, and it had a note, and it was like, this is a time capsule from the class of thing. If found, please return to its position.
Yeah. And
it's just like, so, because, they're clearing out the shed. It's like, what's this? It's like, oh, it's a time capsule. I'll put it back.
Yeah. So Yeah, he was worried that she'd seen him lighting fireworks with local hoodlums at the school, and that he'd caused the fire in the music
room fire. Yeah.
And then Conan tells him off, saying she'd never do that. She was the best friend to everybody in that class. Why would you think she did that?
The reason why you remember her saying "be brave" is probably because be brave. Don't hang out with those ruffians. You don't have to put up with their nonsense. And also the music room fire was caused by a faulty AC conditioner. So. Yeah.
Yeah, a faulty AC had caused it, and also Conan had already cracked open the time capsule and looked at everything.
How big is this time capsule?
It's a little like a lunchbox kind of size thing.
Okay,
it's just like
As much as I can, like no usual. You'll put a little crap in your eyes. Actually, you might put the size of a chest and you put it into the ground.
No, kind of like smaller than a biscuit tin, I'd say. Like not very big at all.
Yeah, it was basically a photo of the class with a letter sheet written to the class on the back of it, and then everyone had put in pieces of paper about what they thought they were going to be when they were growing up. And then there was also a photo of Akemi, and I'm trying to know how many names deep is Ihamara's real name now. I can't remember what her real.
It's to her real name, saying, "Hey, give this to my little sister. If you find her, this is a note to my little sister from me from the past."
So no pogs, no like sweets you can't get anymore.
I know, yeah, none of the cool shit. Like, nah.
No, so then we cut to the party where everyone's got over themselves, and
and the other two were scared because your man was afraid that I was drawing the same thing she drew and she did it better, but I guess she didn't enter it, so I'd win the contest and give me some confidence in my work. And the one who became a doctor was like, "Oh yeah, I copied her test," and the teacher saw us afterwards, but she just said, "Hey, come on down and study in the library with me. I'll help you without needing to cheat." And it's just like, so she was my friend. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, she was really cool now that I think about it. Yeah,
it's so wrong.
Yeah.
We get some
murdered. So
yes, no one got murdered. Some rando's note was, "I'm going to be Japan's first president."
I'm reading out what he was going to be when he said he was a kid, and everyone laughing at him. It's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, Konan's eyes looking at the reading the note from her sister, and then all of a sudden she feels something sinister. Someone's outside. Go and check. Yes, they go and check, and there's nobody there, but there are two of the class coming back with pizza and sushi.
Yeah, we just got the delivery for the party, and then we see the pizza driver and the sushi driver get back on their mopeds and head off, and your man's just like, "Interesting. 10 people don't go to school," says the sushi fucking driver, and it's like, you know who the fuck it is. It's him.
But also, unspoken, we have Ruby, the suspicious teacher, looking out the window at the suspicious sushi man, because she seems to have also said something.
Yeah, well, she did in the first episode, but like you said, she didn't react on it whatsoever.
Well, she wanted the suspects to be him.
Yes. One of her eyes is covered. She grabs her eye when under great duress, and also she did steal that shogi piece, which is more proof of him than her. Shogi piece.
And she recovered it. Yes. So she's Ruby Wakase. So her name was a clue to her being Rob. A voice actress.
It sounds like would someone be that brazen if I said, "I'm just going to add one letter on," then never guess it's going to be.
I mean, like his actual name is like a terrible pun on rum as well, I believe, isn't it? Or it's a pun on his actual name or something like that.
Yes, it's a pun on his actual name. Yeah. So Ruby, she's also played by Fumi Hirano, the voice of Lum from Urusei Yatsura. She's somehow connected to the. One of the other plots with the shogi murder, the shogi master murder.
So she's involved in something in some way, but we don't know the specifics. Like,
yes, well, so there was. It's the brother, but not the brother by blood, brother by being adopted into the shogi family.
Yeah.
Of the middle brother of the family of the oldest brother, FBI agent. Mom, MI6 agent, now small child, but not as small as the other children because she was older when she got turned into a child.
So she's an older child, yeah.
Middle brother, shogi master, went off to this other family. His quote-unquote brother got murdered, along with an old woman and her bodyguard, who was a woman, went missing. There was a note, was it a Casa Rum or something, was the note left behind? So that was the other. So female bodyguard, this teacher's probably her because she's got the shogi piece.
Yeah.
Now, whether she's the murder or whether she's on the investigations for the murder and somebody else did it.
We don't know which side she's involved in, but she's definitely involved in it. Yeah.
And then, of course, youngest daughter of the family is the Jeet Kune Do detective, who knew that Conan was Shinichi because they met as children. And hey, it's odds that there's a child who looks exactly like that child I met when I was the age of that child.
It must be him shrunk to a child. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe the only logical conclusion.
Maybe he smoked a lot and that stunted his growth.
That can happen.
I'm not eating
Isn't
right.
the conclusion when your mum is hiding in a hotel also shrunk to a child?
Yeah, I guess that gives you an indicator that that's a possibility. Sure.
Yeah. And the dad's currently missing, assumed murdered by the Black Hawk Knight. So those two, and then there's the cop, who's the third suspect, the one-eyed cop.
But he's in the intro now, so I assume he's clear. Like, he's absolutely in the clear. He's in the intro, presented among the other cops, so I assume it's fine.
Yeah, so we'll see how he ties. I assume he ties into the other two people, the other two Rum suspects plots as well. So, and now we just put our feet up and wait for some more canonical story.
Dear.
Oh, I can't run them for a while where it was like, you're getting like a little saga a month, it felt like, you know?
Yeah, pretty close to that.
It's I think, yeah. Then we got One Piece, episode 1072, The Ridiculous Power, Gear 5 in full play. I just forgot how to read.
It's all right. It's pretty ridiculous. All logic goes out the window. It's really sort of open with like, the classic Tom and Jerry like title card, and it's just like Kaido and Luffy, like because that's
kind of looking at each other, kind of thing. Yeah.
As he gets brutalized in a hilarious fashion, he's like, "Come on, man, what a real fight! Come on, man, stop playing
seriously.
around! Ow, stop hitting me! Ow, it really hurt! No, come on, man, a real fight!" Like, oh no.
No, this is a real fight. It's just one party is completely ridiculous in this real fight. Yeah.
I will say the bit where Kaido swallows Luffy whole and then Luffy starts inflating Kaido from inside of him plays much more horrifically animated than it did as a still image on the page.
See, I think it's because you're like seeing Luffy in his gullet or in his throat or what. I'm not sure what, because he's a dragon shape. He could be breaking his fucking chest open. I'm not sure what part of Kaido he's technically in, but some part of his esophagus. And it's just like, oh, that's kind of horrific. All right, like any cartoon, if you extrapolate it like to realism, it makes it more horrific, basically, because cartoon physics are horrific when you think about them.
Yes. I think it's just pretty mean when he's stretching his hands up. Oh, I see two lights up there, and he's putting his hands out to his eyes.
Yeah. He
and
pulls
then
his hands out of his eyes and grabs
his jaw,
and Kaido's just screaming, because how else are you supposed to react in that situation? And he shoots himself out of Kaido's throat, and then his hands like snap back through Kaido's eye holes and back in through his mouth. And I was just like, none of that's good. But it's a cartoon, but I'm still thinking this is a horror show right now.
Thank God he stopped.
He also uses Kaido as a skipping rope, which is pretty great, until he realizes that your skipping rope can shoot you with a fire breath. So that's not a great skipping rope. And
then all the masters are huddled underneath, and then like Nami is
assuring, is Luffy okay? He's fighting up there.
It's all right, Tama. Don't worry. Next person is going to come through that hole. It's not going to be Kaido. It's going to be Luffy. Here he is right now. Wah! And then everyone bugs out. they were being super serious there a moment ago. We got fight. This is about survival. It's a fight for our freedom. Luffy's got up there fighting for us. Oh, he's a cartoon character. Well, we're all cartoon characters, but him more so.
But he's grown to a giant size off. Well, for them off camera, and now his giant head is coming through, and his eyes are bugging out, and their eyes are bugging out, and everyone's just like, did my eyes just pop out of my fucking head there? Because it really felt like that's what just happened.
Is it this episode where he has to grab him and push him back into his face? I think yes, it is. Eventually, he runs out of power and becomes a very old Luffy.
It looks like, oh no, he's run out of fucking Gear 5, but he becomes so ridiculously old that it's like, okay, it's still on then. This is still a cartoon.
Yeah,
it's got to get pumped up.
Yeah.
Interesting touch they did here that I don't know if it was in the comic or whether it would be so subtle as to not be noticeable in the comic, is when the awakening power is off, then that's the point at which Kaido also gives way a bit. So it's like the rubberiness that he was imparting to Kaido was also partly keeping Kaido up.
Yeah. I was wondering, was it either that or was Kaido now applying to the cartoon logic of, oh, I'm tired, I'm floppy and tired, and Kaido's like, oh fuck, now I am also tired, just by you exuding this cartoon tiredness at me.
Well,
like I wasn't sure which it was going for.
I think, like, if there's any other devil fruit, if it made it explode out of your body, it would be a much faster fight. So,
like, Kaido should be dead several times over at the end of this episode, but he's not.
Instead, we get some shameless use of the Super Saiyan aura and sound effect while Luffy gets pumped back up again.
I mean, that's a cartoon. He's allowed crib from that.
I guess it's in their sound library. They're allowed to use it. So.
Actually, I think my favorite sound effect of this is where they're going like along a banjo, which is I do like that noise, and it's used pretty well. Also, Luffy at multiple does my legs are spinning so fast they look like wheels to just run through the sky. Yeah. It's very cartoony. I read somewhere that Oda was worried that this would, well, not worried, he was thought it'd be really funny that this is going to piss everybody off. I was like, is this pissing people off? Because this is fucking great.
Oh, but you get that bit as well, like when he's trying to, like, he's remembering all, like, the, like, folks who is doing this for. Oh, he's yeah. Also remember, like, the dudes who died along the way, that one Pedro and there, he's getting kind of psyched up and saying, you're in my heart, man. Fucking it's just beating away like this, and you get a little bit of, like, yes, just kind of like the kind of the way that legend kind of coming out for a second right here as it kind of flash of colors out, and then, like, his own heartbeat is like the drum of liberation. And then we're back to bloop, 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 doing, doing.
That's why it's Isha going, this is so good. I love this sound. Joy Boy's here.
Oh, yes. I missed Boomerang. That was a really good shuttle.
We also get, right at the start of the episode, Kaido going, you finally awakened your paramecia. Except when paramecia's awakened, you don't normally get some sort of physical transformation.
Transformations are for Zoan fruits. And it's like, I was thinking about it. I was like, anytime I've seen someone do a transformation, like, it's always like a false thing, like Biscuit, Charlotte Biscuit, where he had Biscuit armor that made him look bigger, or your wax man. He's just wearing the wax over himself to change his shape. I suppose the closest thing would be like Bon Clay, because he changes his appearance, but that's not the same thing, because that's literally just the fruit, yeah?
Unless
that's a paramecia of a human type fruit, face fruit, or something like that. Or sorry, a Zoan type fruit, face fruit, yeah.
Because I do wonder, because like I say, they named the other three kings, the other three gods rather, in back in the Sky Pier arc. There's no reason that the god of wind is going to be dragon's fruit, because what does this have to do with the sun? Being able to stretch yourself, so it could easily just as easily be Buggy.
Buggy's still important. He's still relevant.
Of course, he's going to be important. Him and Kobe are definitely being set up for the finale almost as much as Blackbeard is. So. Next week, we don't need to watch it. I've watched it. It's basically the first half of the episode, people going, oh, that fire's hot. What are we going to do? for half an episode. Quick check-in upstairs, and then two characters going, well, I guess we should make some water now. Yes, water. Let me have a flashback explaining why I decided that I'd be able to use this water technique. You're okay, want to create this water? Yes, I'm good at creating water. Let's create the water. Hey, and then back to everybody who was complaining about the fire, going, hey, look, there's some water.
If there's no instances of Luffy getting smashed with a spike club and his face conforming to the shape of a spike club, or him punching through the back of his head, of Kaido's head, not killing him, but in a cartoony way.
That was really
then
cool.
I'm not interested.
You saw his face, and it's just like, oh, you see if you get face punch to go, but I saw this kept going, and it kept going, and it kept going, and it kept going. Horrifying.
There's a little bit of him being deformed by being hit, and then it's got the bit where he grabs the lightning. That's kind of where it ends next week. I'm hoping they redo that in the next episode because it didn't look that great at the end.
Yeah, I mean, like, they got the opportunity to do it as well.
Of course,
so, yeah.
not next week's episode, because next week's episode is a recap episode where we get to find out what Bartolomeo thinks about everything that's happened recently.
Doesn't involve Luffy.
Whenever he's not on screen, we need to check in on him. Yeah.
At least they have that format for their recap episodes. Then we got Dark Gathering, episode 6, The Promise. Let's get over all that nasty hanging business and go for a camping trip to the countryside. What could possibly go wrong?
Yes, next to the bridge where no one has ever jumped to their death before, and it's not ridiculously haunted with spirits.
No one's ever died in the countryside. It'll be great. What could possibly?
So yeah, Aiko gets possessed and starts wandering towards the bridge. They stop her from wandering towards the bridge, but it turns out she was just the lure for the 10 ghosts which haunt this bridge to push Keitaro off the bridge.
And as I like their explanation of it, it's like, listen, if it's one strong spirit, all you got to do is find a guy tougher than it or trick it, right? But it's like, if you're a person, if you're fighting like 10 dudes, you're in a lot of fucking trouble. So what we need to do is get them one by one, win them to our side, so we have more of them than they have of them.
Win them to our side, as in threaten to have your ghostly essence rend asunder. Unless
torture
you do
them into submission so they're on your side. Yes. These are the good guys. These are our heroes. And your man's like, I absolutely am going to help you out in this situation. Of course.
It's a good reveal of it being pushed off the bridge and then it flashing back to them expecting to get pushed off the bridge. And so
we'll tie both of me and her to like a bungee type cord. Where'd you get this cord? Stole it from a temple. It's like, or she says found it, but he's like, did you find it though? But
that was all she found.
Yeah, it's like an fun. Ghosts get kind of, if I know ghosts, they get kind of stuck on one thing. So this is a pushing off bridge. Ghosts just tie us together, it'll be fine. You know.
Also, while she's doing this, she's like freaking A-teaming the situation. It's like, if I make some bags of rice into dolls and I give them all little individual faces, they totally count as individual dolls, and therefore we can trap as many as I have made dolls out of. So
you just gotta find the lead one, who's like doing the thing for saying it's the one with the little triangle mouth. Okay. This is the boss. They won't phone like Phantasm aside. Rest of you waiting across the river, we can see your like spooky reflections in the water right there. You talk amongst yourselves about how you want to play this. Otherwise, it's not going to go well for you. I'm telling you.
Like once she gets majority of them caught, she's basically like, all right, you guys make the decision. All right, which one of you fucking possessing her? Like, point to the one, and the one that is possessing her is pointing to a different one, where all the rest of them are pointing at him. It's like, I don't like fucking liars.
This episode was called The Promise, and it's just like, no, she's not making threats, she's making promises about what's going to happen to you if you don't cooperate with this.
And the reason why it's more dramatically put is because we're getting a lot of relationship stuff working between the two.
Yes.
She's confessing. She's saying, "Oh, it's like I don't just want to learn about ghosts. I want to learn about you. I want to learn. I want to know you. You know." And it's like, "Oh, I like you too." And it's like, "Oh my God, will they? Won't they?" And I was just like, "Yeah."
Yeah, they will. I think it's good. It's good. That's kind of look at that, like, that thing. Don't let it hang over the whole end of the story. Let's get that done with. It's very wholesome. It's very fun. We've reaffirmed our resolve and saying, "Okay, yeah, I've done a lot of thinking about this and grow. Like, join you on your mission to hunt down all the worst ghosts and lift our curse, and me and Eiko can live happily ever after." She's out in the hallway going, "Oh yeah, it's so hot." It's a
My
kind of
evil plan
again,
is finally
it's really
working.
good when they get back to home base for another job well done. It has completely undercut the sentiment that has just been built up over the rest of the episode.
They've expressed their love for each other. He's now made his newfound resolve to hunt these ghosts and find the one that cursed them so he can break their curse and they can live happily ever after. And she's like, all my evil plans of getting cursed, fucking making sure I was the only one there for him, getting him back on his feet, suggesting he fucking become a tutor, insisting that he become my fucking little cousin's tutor. It's like, it's all coming together. It's all coming up me. I'm the evil mastermind of this whole fucking show, and I'm listening in the side of the door.
Well, he said he likes you. Sure, we could stop this now, but no.
No, deeper is.
we gotta keep him now. That's just hard to battle. We'll fight now. So I gotta keep him there. So I got more ghosts in his life. Otherwise, he'll leave me.
Well, I don't think it's that. I think that she wants to have thrilling adventures with him fighting ghosts.
Yeah. Like, that's all she wants. I want to be creeped the fuck out, and I want... The only thing she's disappointed by in this episode is that she was unconscious while she was possessed. It's like, I don't remember being possessed. That sucks. I wanted to be spooked out. I'm into that.
Yes, I think she wanted this relationship to start at the point at which they went into the haunted house where they got cursed in the first place.
Yeah,
that's what she brings up. That's what she wants to go back to that.
Yeah.
Well, it's having somebody, I think, who knows what you're going through and can relate to. He's fun and afraid of it, but she was always into it, so she can kind of get a better handle on it. And she's very popular at university and all that, but they don't get it. They don't know what she's really about, man.
She's into him, but she's also into the perverse thrill of finding ghosts and getting spooked the fuck out.
Yes, because once the curse is gone, they're going to have to carry on doing this because they aren't going to stop haunting him because that's not anything to do with the curse. He got cursed because ghosts find him incredibly attractive.
Yeah.
So yeah, yes, it is like a wonderful romance, but her reaction to it is hilarious. And, you should not be this thrilled about something this nightmarish. And then obviously that's counteracted by the deadpan of the little kid.
The cute little kid that tortures dead people.
Yeah, one of them got half eaten as well. That was the other, because the ghost she brought with her.
It got better because she fed him one of the ghosts that they caught, and I was just like, "Oh, then it's fine. I guess everything's fine."
Just for her affect and approach of it. She's only like 9 or 10. She should have like a cigarette hanging out the corner of her mouth at all times. Just has that sort of approach to it. It's just, did a job well done.
Like, there's a bunch of fucked up things in this. Like, the basic thing she has is the trapping them in dolls thing. Use salt to scare him away because sanctified salt, and also like holy wine, because when he's drowning, she's like, well, if you start drowning, you knock back this holy wine and you'll vomit right that ghost back up that's trying to possess you. And he's like, all right, I'm drowning, so I need to drink the wine. And initially I thought the nails into the dolls was going to be something as well, but she's like, no, she's just putting that in because it fucking hurts. Like, this is the torture part of the program. And
that's right. No boss.
Yeah. Some of it is like, ghost lore, and other ones is I'm torturing them. So like, it's hard to draw the line there sometimes. Yeah.
I assume there's something to do with like iron affecting them.
I mean, like, again, they did just say like the body is that the ghost is trapped in a doll, so it reacts as if it's their body. And I assume her just hammering a fucking nail into their head fucking hurts.
Maybe she dipped those screwdrivers in holy water or something, and then that really.
Could be, yeah.
That seems to be also awful and saying, well, you could do a whole thing, say a prayer, or I could get this like crowbar that I've put an enchantment on, dip holy water, I can smash its ghostly skull in. That'll sort it out, right, Rob? Exorcism done.
Yes, it was fun to have that Roboco episode to watch in a week when Dark Gathering was on. That was for sure. Then we got Helck, episode 6, Invasion, in which for the first half, no invasion happens. I was worried for these cute, strange creatures that their island was going to get invaded, but instead, turned out the sinister message that the chief had for them was actually We're going to put a big party on, Your Honor.
Surprise party! Oh, we really got you. No, you didn't. Just want to say what? What do you mean?
And
No,
from management's head, where and from management is kind of going, it's like, oh, this guy's clearly the leader. He's more cynical about our presence here as strangers. It's like, oh no, wait, he's a dumbass. Everyone's fucking dumb on this fucking island.
They're all very nice.
They're all pretty good. Possibly, except for the evil witch, because when she asked him, it's like, do you know where the mainland is? Like, don't have a fucking clue. I live on this island, but we can ask the witch. And it's like, oh, where's she? Up on top of the mountain. Can we not just go up and get her? It's like, no, she erected a magical barrier because these dipshits would just ask her stupid fucking inane questions all day if she didn't come down. Like, she'd be down in a day or two. It'd be grand.
Probably the one to ask, but we'll go out her tomorrow. It's like, we gotta get back though. Now, Helck, you had a little kind of thing with like your dude Edel, who was like turned into an angel now. Fun, you gonna be okay fighting your friends? Fun, saying Edel was a good dude. He's like kind of like my little sidekick. We go off and do quests together. He'd be like, just doing things like that. But once you kind of start down that path, that's kind of it. Like, I was good to catch him when I caught him, but I mean, I know how this ends up, so I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Like.
He reaffirms his desire to destroy all humans, despite himself being a human.
Which makes a nice reflection of the demon in the second half, who clearly does not want to kill all humans. He wants to live in peace with all humans.
Yeah, like Hura and Dorsch and the nimble dude I've left behind, and then like 3 a bit more higher ranking of the winged knights come up there because they have like voices, they can talk and stuff, and
they've kept their personality, which means they synced well to being turned into false heroes or whatever.
Yeah, for angels or angelic beings, they got some mouths in them, and like heroes just go like the phone and saying, we've already don't you put your handsome shithead friend, or has a handsome shithead friend? That's why one had a shithead friend we could possibly be. And they're fun dicing them up, it's like they're doing pretty okay. But then gotta call the rest of their buddies, and it's yes, now we got a lot of angel guys coming around here.
And their basic plan is, we'll wait the 27 minutes it's going to take for him to put up a barrier. I'll hold them off for a little bit. You run back and get help because we're in over our heads here. He's like, I can't just run away. And he's like, you didn't bring a weapon for some fucking reason, so that's all you can do right now. And also, you're the fastest one here, so it makes sense. But they have backup. They got
Easter. They got the cat girl. She's just like being a ninja and cut them up. And then the little Digimon looking fella whose name I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
So like as well as like he's just putting up shields and saying, oh, compared with Emilio's outburst, this is nothing.
Because he's been blocking explosions.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, they're like, come on, Leggett, we got backup. And there's like, okay, cool, where's the army? He's like, no, we didn't bring an army, we brought Vermilion. And it's like, just one guy? It's like, no. He's a real cool dude. Watch him come in with
Vermilion's on the island. This is Azutra.
Sorry, yeah, I'm mixing up the two names. You're right.
He's the blue one.
But he comes in with his drummer. I assume she's just there to perform the drummer to make it dramatic while he walks up, wearing the stupidest mask that he could find by the look of it.
It's got a good story about it though, guys.
Yeah.
We're expecting this now, but like, no, I'm trying to just conceal like, my feelings or what I'm gonna have to do right here. It's like, I got a whole like thing to spook him out. It's like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this? Because I don't want to do this. Like, if you go back far enough up in history, actually humans and demons got along quite well. You'll find it's just like a civil war. This
is basically in the recent government for humans, like how this has happened. Yeah,
civil war. And you guys put in your dude a monarchy, and then suddenly demons are a bad thing now, and that's the way it's been ever since. But I don't want to do it. If you want to go, well, go. But I really don't want to go. But we're going to go, aren't we? Okay, fine. And then someone shoots out of the ground and crushes all of them in one fell swoop.
And they're like, oh, this is the new Demon Lord. He's like, nope, I'm one of the 4 great generals. I'm not even the Demon Lord, so don't worry about that.
A better line would have been for saying, oh, I'm not Demon Lord. I'm just from management.
I'm Barry from management. I'm not that high up the pecking order because I'd just scare him more. Yeah.
I'm Dan from accounts.
I think the key thing is, like, unlike Kiora, he's not slicing them up. He's just holding them in place so they can do no harm.
I mean, like, he's crushing them. There's blood coming out of them, but it is
There is, but yes, he's not, like, crushing them instantly. He's not just holding them in place.
I mean, like even the cat girl was chopping off their wings and heads and whatnot. So it's just like, yeah, this is much more tame in comparison. He's giving them a chance, basically. So yeah.
But not too far gone. No, if Hulk's word is anything to go by. So if anything, this is a mercy to them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all that happens. It's flies by pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's again, it's like tiptoeing it. I just say it's kind of one of the kind of differences like in there as like considering as well where like where Vermilio and Helck are right now. It's not like in another plane of existence. It's like somewhere further off the map. So like human realm and demon realm are in the same place. So like a lot of this is coming from this like a very one-sided like or one-sided fucking like resentment or bitterness here.
Yeah. Because as Hell points out, it's like demons have been totally cool. They were very accepting of me, a human. These guys on this island, they look kind of demonic and weird monster people, so they're totally cool. It's like apparently humans are the ones with the fucking like the biases and shit like that. Everyone else is just cool. So and she's like, no, some demons are bastards. He's like, oh man, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings by pointing out that sometimes there is bastards. Yeah.
Yes, because she's like, yeah, there's this whole bunch over here. That all of those guys are arseholes. But even within our own empire, there's arseholes who'll con you and trick you. But then she's also feeling bad, internally that she's been so mean to Helck.
Yeah.
You've disappointed this giant child of a man who's been nothing but lovely.
It seems like, you're going to find bastards wherever you go, but it's like being a bastard and being rewarded for being a bastard seems endemic to human society in particular. And it seems to be like something like it's like kind of infecting, I think, other parts of this world. It may be one that's kind of producing this miasma that causes demon realm to come to existence in the first place. So again, humans' fault.
Well, we'll see. I suspect it's not going to be the human's fault. I suspect it's going to be whatever's causing that miasma.
Yeah. The other thing is like Helck, like there's a lot of things we're watching up against it that are objectively better, but it's such a fucking easy watch. Like I feel like it's a breeze to watch.
It's just an intriguing thing because like it's maybe it's just for so long when you come across anything that even like puts a toe into like the fantasy genre. Yeah. It's been what now? One thing only, based on what video game, harkened to what video game. It's like to kind of except to prove the rule there was one Dragon Quest adventure who died. Based on a game. It's not one totally about the game. And it's not fucking completely like fucking filtered over one with menus and shit like that. And there's all this like things and points and skill points and all this other nonsense. It just have something that it's a fantasy story. It's got fucking demons and kind of flying knights and magic and stuff, but it's not trying to be reflective of this other thing that
it has the tropes, but it doesn't have like they mentioned like Helck's level, but like we're not really like, do you level up in this world? Probably not. It's just a way of indicating power level, basically.
Yeah, just feels like something that's based upon a book. I remember books as things it used to have before video games came along.
Well, no, this is a comic.
That's a book.
It is printed on pages.
And there's a sequel currently running, or not a sequel, another story set in the same.
But yeah, speaking of things that were literally printed in classical works of literature, that'll bring us to our next thing.
Undead Murder Farce, episode 7, Free for All, which it very much is. I can't remember everything which happens in this. The Lupin unmasks, pockets get picked, heads are inside saves. 3 idiots bounce around in front of the moon from a vast quantity of the episode.
Them just dicking around and Lupin acting like Lupin the Third and just like doing silly fucking runs and just being a general goober. I was just like, this is good shit. Because you have him, the nice guy who doesn't want to get filthy and wants to kill all monsters, and our Oni boy not wrestling, like farcing around a fucking who can grab the diamond, basically.
Yeah, it's like when you expect Lupin, you know, a bit of kind of Sherlock Holmes, it's going to be like a whole plan is going to go off like that, and then like it's going to be a counter plan. It's all going to be rated by one saying, no, actually,
It goes
like,
to shit like
it
immediately.
goes shit
It's great.
like wrong, like, you know, because his plan doesn't quite come off, and their plan to stop him doesn't quite come off either. So we're both sides are kind of panicking and scrabbling to try and win the day overall.
So
It's
yeah,
a farce, so to speak.
Yeah. We start with the in the safe, and your man goes like, "I'm not going back down there. You go down there and help out. I'm sticking with our actual plan to steal the diamond from Lupin." So she goes down and shoots enough crossbow bolts into the safe to break it open. And so the lads all pour out.
It's a door of the vault,
Yeah.
which have been filling with water from the vent. It was meant to break that door open and then let the water out. But gasp, the safe is gone. How did he manage that?
And they're all kind of looking at each other. It's like, it must be one of us. Who could it be? Anyway, we all should go dry because we're all freezing from being covered in water from the Thames. So they're all like drying off, and Sherlock is like, "Hey, Ganimard, can I borrow your handcuffs?" It's like, "Yeah, sure. What do you need them for?" "Gotcha, Lupin, you fucking crafty son of a bitch." It's like, "How did you know it was me?" Because you established earlier that you use fake rubber noses and stuff, so you made sure to really glue on that fake mustache when I tested it. That you were planting things in my head, like locking myself in the safe. That was the thing you planted in my head earlier on. And it doesn't matter anyway, because the diamond wasn't even in the safe. It's like, where is it? Oh, it's in your left pocket over there thing. And Lupin's like, or is it? Haha, I have it. Smoke bomb. And then it goes like, it's all going to Lupin.
You meet up with the Phantom then in the greenhouse point saying smoke bomb. All that playing, you just go smoke bomb and you're out there point saying, look man, take it by feet, okay, don't give me any shit right now, we gotta get out of here. Like they've only known each other for like a couple of days, and it's just like they're already these bickering
couple
spouses and
so who is it who confronts Lupin in the thing? It's your man,
what's it? The guy from Royce is there.
The guy from Royce.
Sugar was making his way there. He's leaping through and saying his whole like Rakugo story as well.
Because when they opened the safe,
it was the story about a guy.
So yeah, they did have to steal the safe as well as part of his gentleman's promise. So when he crack open the safe, the head is in the safe, and she just screams, "It's like, I'm over here!" And he's just like, "Let me tell you a little story about a guy called Gorman Ishikawa." And this is the tale of the thief in the pot. I've forgotten the name of it.
Upside down. It would take a minute to
exactly
sit right there. And you just like
and him coming in and just saying the end of the story breathlessly, and then doing the little Rakugo bow at the end as he finishes the story, and it's just like, this is ridiculous. So it's like, yeah, I was inside the safe the whole time, holding it closed with my teeth, just to see where they take me, and then he just come running when they open the safe, and Lupin's like, "Ha, well, you gotta face me and the Phantom. Phantom? Oh, motherfucker, he's gonna run around me." The Phantom's just out. Because that's what he'd do. He hides in an opera mostly, but still, yeah.
Yes. Moriarty isn't taking any of this shit.
Yeah, the main part of the farce is all of this has gone to shit. Also, Moriarty and the crew has rolled the fuck up and killed a lot of fucking policemen, basically.
And blown a bridge up as well.
Blown a bridge and nowhere to go. It's just like, I don't know what it was. He's playing me about a pip and saying, nope, this doesn't affect me at all. Like, this is making me look like a punk at all. And saying, Victor, am I a punk to you? It's like, I don't know. And saying, nah, I gotta get out there and wreck some shit. Can't make it. These guys have all the fun.
So again, the Moriarty thing of the subtle, the mastermind of crime, it's just like, no, he's just gonna roll in there and murder a shitload of people. It's just like, fuck it, like that's just no subtlety whatsoever. It's good.
Yeah, descending Carmilla from the novel and Aleister Crowley from real life,
except more handsome, obviously.
Yeah, well, it's young Aleister Crowley. Lost his hair yet.
Yeah, I guess there might be that, but would you believe all of his? I do like the fact that he is not an actual magician and he is a bullshit artist, which is true to life, I guess. Yeah, so that works out.
Yes. So Carmilla ends up fighting the maid.
She's initially trying to. Well, she's murdering her way through. She eats. She kills a couple of people, eats a maid, then gets a taste for a maid, I guess, and then she's trying to kill. What's your man's name? The detective in the Sherlock Holmes books.
Oh, Lestrade.
Lestrade. She's about to kill Lestrade, but then the maid shows up and is like, "Hello, have you seen a severed head anywhere?" And it's like, "No, I haven't." All right, peace out.
Be on
like,
my way.
You kicked me in the fucking jaw.
She's looking for the Phantom at that point. Is specifically.
Yeah. My severed head master said, "Have you seen the Phantom of the Opera?" It's like she kicks her to knock her back, like because it's like, "Hey, have you seen the Phantom of the Opera?" No. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go then. It's like you can't just kick me in the jaw and leave. It's like, all right, I guess I gotta take out. Oh, you got a sword on your back. It's like, no, I got a sword attached to a gun on my back. Fucking like, keep up, would you, you stupid vampire. Dear.
Sherlock versus Aleister Crowley.
Who immediately points out, it's all tricks and illusion. It's like, doesn't matter. I got a cape full of explosives and poisons.
It doesn't know how to set it. It's pretty good. He's just going like clack, 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 like a man out of a giant robo and setting people on fire.
But he's basically shooting like poisonous darts and bombs from his fingers by doing clicks. So it's like, I think he calls like your clicking fingers are like the trigger of a gun. And it's just like, that's right, you caught me. Wish I could trick you a little more, but I'm just gonna have to kill you. So we'll work that out.
And it's as we said, Lupin,
Sugaru, and
Sugaru. It's just he's still not on the website for me to get his name.
I can remember your one's name because the other one's named like Fatima Double
Darts.
Double Dart.
Yeah, she's got
which
darts.
Is a great fucking name.
She shoots darts, but they're double.
I did like that. It's like her versus the Phantom of the Opera, and he's hiding up in the rafters, and he's like, "You can't see me. You know, it's echoing, and she's just like, "I'm just gonna shoot until I fucking hit you," and he's like, "Well, I'm going to sneak her." Oh Jesus! I've been shot with a dart because he's just a fucking guy.
I can't help but sing.
She refers to him as like the deformed phantom, and you must be also taken out as a monster. And I was like, he's got a birthmark on his face. What is up with people?
I think he's really got rolled up in this by mistake. He's got a whole like backstory. He's got a whole like gimmick going on, but he's like, I don't know. He's more like a fucking
way above
Batman
his
type than a fucking like like Universal Monsters or anything.
He's not even a Batman type. He's a Batman of one fucking building. Like that's not even that impressive.
Reynolds Stingheart, I believe, is the other one.
Yeah. I know they all have ridiculous names, but yeah, that sounds right.
Well, I think he's also starting to enjoy us a little bit. He's fun. I'm just here on the job, and I'm here for another stuff. But like, I'm chasing Lupin, and I'm chasing Sugaru, like the only killer. And it's just, it just gotta laugh. It's gotta go, fun. This is my job, but this is where it takes me. I might as well enjoy it.
I think Sugaru trying to catch the diamond in his mouth and then getting like kicked and it coming off and being covered in his spit is a way of keeping it out of that motherfucker's hands because he hates getting dirty. We'll see.
We'll see. He ends up slicing up Phineas Fogg's mansion, and they point out this is the hint of what Royce is as well.
Yeah,
he's got insurance. It's not a problem.
He's got great insurance. It doesn't matter what damage I cause, and it's just like. And how would you know that? It's like, I'm from an insurance broker that is unrelated to a real world one that sounds similar.
Usually my job is very boring and involves a lot of paperwork, so just let me have this, all right?
Today it's swords today, yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's the end of the episode. You're like, when's the next one out? Need to find out how these fights are going to end.
It does have the abrupt ending, I don't. I try to go for and always leave him wanting more kind of thing, because at times it doesn't feel quite appropriate. It's kind of just like the tape ran out or something.
It's either like that they're wanting you're gagging for more, kind of like just give me, or it's intended they framed it that way for streaming purposes, which is like so you're binging it, that kind of thing. That's the other way.
You could be right. Yes, or they'll stick 2 arcs together and release them as movies at some point.
That's another way. Yeah. I mean, like they'd run really well together. Yeah.
Then we've got Bungo Stray Dogs, Season 5, Episode 56, At the Port in the Sky, Part 2.
Literary allusions.
I was slightly upset in this because I saw the guy coming from Europe with an eye patch, and I was like, who'd be coming from Europe with an eye patch? I literally figured, is that James Joyce? And then he died. And then I looked it up, and James Joyce died like seasons ago. And I was like, god damn it. That's annoying.
James Joyce was in this?
He was F. Scott Fitzgerald's butler who randomly fucking died, apparently.
Alright.
I was just like, what? That's bullshit. Fuck off. I want a do-over.
Like, Ireland alone is like a bastion of literary greats. No, they should be like their own like crack unit.
But he was the first eye patch author from Europe that I could think of, basically. So, yeah. But yeah, that was the only disappointment in this episode. The rest of it was great. So, you know, that's my only complaint.
Yeah. So Edogawa Rampo has his plan. We're going to attack.
We're going to do terrorism.
Do some terrorism because we're supposed to be terrorists, and that will convince the Europeans to turn back, not deliver it today. That's fine.
Because they don't need, they're not on a timeline like our guy who's very much so needs that today. So they're just like, yeah, we'll just deliver it like in a week or something like that. We'll just turn this plane around. Oh no, everybody's bleeding from every orifice.
You're not just up against the hunting dogs. You're up against the Decay of Angels. And who's in the Decay of Angels and who is still running shit from inside a prison? It's fucking Dostoevsky, who stuck some poison into the hair that will kill off anybody who's on that plane and it crashes.
How did he do it? He's Dostoevsky. We don't need any more explanation, basically. Yeah.
But what Dostoevsky and the Decay of Angels don't know is that our good guys they do know, but they haven't accounted for it because he's also in prison. Is that Dazai has counteracted the counteraction by sealing the artifact so it can only be opened in the event of a
vampire meltdown, basically. And he had his guy. I forgot the guy's name with the glasses. Yeah, he's ringing up the guys like, are you sure we should be giving him this? I don't know about giving it to him. We need to stick this failsafe on just in case. And it's like, yeah, but like that'll be like right at the edge of vampire apocalypse that he'll have access to it. It's like, yeah, but we can't be giving this power to a foreign fucking military leader like willy-nilly. And the man's like, yeah, that's right. Does this order come from the chief? Looks at video feed of the chief currently in hospital in a coma. Yes, he's awake and it comes directly from the chief.
Okay, if you say so.
All right.
It's a lie that the guy on the other end of the phone wants to believe. That's why it's a convincing.
He wants, he's like, that is a good idea, actually. We should stick this little stipulation. You can't open it unless vampire apocalypse.
Do it open unless, yes.
Yeah. So it's like, I assume, sealed by a power. So when they chop up the plane and he catches the box and he's just like, I can't open it. It's magic.
Yeah, that's the whole thing is Fukuzawa catches. Yeah, he gets the hunting dogs to slice the plane, catches the thing, and he can't get into it. So he's like, now I've got to mobilize my vampires earlier than I wanted to, so I can use the book again and carry on this story. And of course, by the time he gets to the coffin, Bram has disappeared because he's befriended a 10-year-old girl.
He's been kidnapped by a 10-year-old girl. But yeah, basically.
God damn it!
Yeah, so
why couldn't I just wait this off for the 5 days and just fucking no? I had to go and try and make it with this extra fun spin on it. Why did I do this?
Yes, his tension is starting when the explosion happened because then he couldn't use his power to go and find the person who's hiding in his room.
Yeah, he's kind of like, okay, that person who took a photo of me has ran out. They're not out in the corridor. I don't know where they'd be. Did Rampo set up like fucking like little LED lights everywhere to flash off and make me think people were taking photos of me? I can't tear up this room because then they'll find Dracula here, and then I'll draw attention to the fact that I'm controlling Dracula, and I need to go get that box now. And he's just like, shit.
Yeah, and later on, when Bram's disappeared, he thinks that Jono's still got men from his organization in the airport, and that they've stolen Bram from him as a
like he doesn't know that guy just randomly passed a note to a random child, and that's enough to undo his stupid fucking plan. Like one fucking 10-year-old.
But that's what I was saying. Like, no, yeah. How do you beat a guy like who's covered all the angles? You do something like crazy and unexpected. So something so infinitesimally kind of small, is that they're all up here. You got to do something kind of relatively dumb and straightforward because they're not going to expect that. Because who would do something that dumb against me?
I like
a genius, perhaps.
The framing of obviously because security's tightened up at the airport since there's been an explosion at the airport and the chopped up plane. I'm not sure. That's going to take a while to clear off the fucking runway at the very least. But you see the shot of the security people. It's just their mouths. You see the little fangs. It's like, oh, we're going to need to check your bag, sir. That kind of thing. So she's like hiding behind the counter with Bram Stoker saying, shit, Bram Stoker, you got to do something about these vampires for me, pal. And he's like, I don't have to do fucking shit for you. I am stuck on a sword. This is just how I live now.
Every time it gives me a bad headache because it goes right up to my brain.
It's fused to his brain now. We see the little cross section where it's like branching like a tree into various parts of his brain, and it's like, all right, what could I do for you to convince you to help me out here, Bram Stoker? And it's like, well, you could get me the mystical artifact that I so crave of 1,000 tiny musicians trapped in a box. It would give me peace and solace. Yes, the wireless radio.
Sure, here you go.
I got an iPod. Is that all right? And he's like, fucking, is that the theme tune playing? Holy shit, this is great. It's one of the best uses of the theme tune starting to play recently. And we had a good one of those this season already. So, yeah.
Once the to space in his mind as, yes, the world's opened up for him. Because it's all through this, he's had like a very archaic turn of phrase as well.
Yeah.
Has confused a 10-year-old girl.
At some point in history, he's been told that a radio exists, and he's just like, "Oh, that sounds fucking great!" Like he managed to glean this while being transported, like as fucking luggage or something.
Well,
and he's just like, "That sounds great," and his shit is out of fucking date. She's given him like when she gives him the iPhone or whatever, he's just like, "Can I have this?" And he's like, "Yeah, take it." And he's like, "You are an angel," It's just like, oh my god.
Well, he is hibernating for decades at a time, so
that's the other thing. Yeah, so he's missing out on a lot of advancements.
There's really leaps and bounds here to the point saying, "What are these podcasts?" The greatest scholars of our age will just disseminate information in lecture form to your ears at your disposal at any time of day or night.
For free.
Remarkable.
This is the sane part of the episode because meanwhile, in prison. The guys are getting broken out.
They're like, everything's kicking off outside of prison. Hey, do you want to fucking murder each other? And fucking like, oh yeah, let's fucking kill each other.
But they've got Gogol there and Sigma is there, and like Sigma is going, I was only born yesterday, so my existence is questionable to begin with, but I think I'd better go back to not existing right now because I got these two guys going, are you thinking what I'm thinking? I think you are. Deadly poison.
Yes, Golgo has portaled them out of their cells, but they're still in prison. And he managed to figure out
escape still.
Yes. He doesn't want to, he's like, oh, my best friend, so glad to see you. I've come to murder you. But
and Dad's like going like, nice friends you got here, pal. And he's like, yeah, I know, right? They're great. They want to murder me.
Yes, well, I could just murder you here and now. That would be actually my animal instinct, which I don't want to do. So this amazing plan where I'm going to inject each of you with a poison which will kill you in 30 minutes unless you escape the prison, in which case the first one who gets out can have the antidote.
And he apologized to Dazai. He's like, I specifically don't want to kill you, but I need to motivate him. So he wants to kill you. So, you know.
That's cool. That's cool. Well,
they're both just like, let's fucking go. Yeah. Let's both Snake Plissken escape from New York ourselves out of the situation. All right, let's fucking go.
They both come to the same conclusion that each of their plans can only succeed if the other one is dead.
Yeah. So I mean, like this works out for them basically, from their own twisted way of thinking.
Dazai doesn't care about dying in the first place, so
he wants to die. It's like, oh, fucking win or lose, I win. This is brilliant.
Yes, I do like the one bit where he turns to the camera and goes, "Wow," at the behavior.
Wow. It's one of those things that you see a lot of thing today of there's a lot of cynicism in media and stuff where you have the guy, something weird happens in the movie, some magical or mystical or spectacular movie type thing, and someone turns to the camera, well, that happened. But in this case, it was fine, because this fucking thing is so ridiculous.
Just their personalities he was commenting on at that point.
Yeah, it's like fucking wow, these people.
Out at that point, it was just like, oh, kill these three, and then later on, then get Sigma doing the same. But once they're all mentally, let's do this death game. And
also, Sigma being the sanest person in the room, as he points out, because it's just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm literally brand new. This is messed up.
I want to go back
to nothingness. Yeah,
I
that
just want to be an idea again, please.
Yeah, man, this run of episodes. I mean, I know I like the series anyway, but it's the fact that it hasn't started on a light novel has reminded me how much I love
the actual thing outside of light novels is so fucking good. Yeah, just crazy good.
I think the rhythm of the comic must clearly be good because it comes across well in the cartoon, and then the adaptation is great. So the segue of the music at the end.
Yeah, and they keep doing that, and it keeps working.
Yep.
You gotta give like Taki Igarashi some credit here for the direction of it as well. So it's like you're getting this like really like this pitch perfect 99% of the time.
Like, cause the last time we'd seen like the theme tune coming in early as well was obviously Jujutsu Kaisen, used for great tragedy effect, whereas in this case it was used for great comedy effect. Like, so there's multiple ways you can do it, and just the tinny earphones sound of it coming through in the soundtrack before the show ends. It's just very well done overall. Yeah.
Then we've got Hyakushou, Kizoku, episode 7, Noble Farmers. Oyajidono is our episode in which she waxes lyrical about her dad. And
do you have a mad dad? Here are some mad dad stories, basically. Yeah.
Pardon me, I gotta take this. Do not talk about farming.
Oh no! I hope it's not his mad farmer dad. Yeah. So, what does she open with? Oh, the fact that he was like, the winter months. The thing that this reminds me of is Dad going out to the cowshed in his underpants to check on him because he was just in the bathroom.
Having his jaw broken by a horse.
Which is why he has that cool scar.
Yeah.
He's fallen off the roof and ruptured his femur. He fell off something else and ruptured his internal organs or something.
Yeah, it was femur, rib, spleen.
That was it, because he has a big scar up his belly. We do see from him being like in his underpants for a bunch of the episode. Yeah.
He made an ice rink using the silent machine, and he hadn't cleaned it.
He mostly cleaned it out.
Yes.
And the kids are just like, what do you mean fucking mostly? That's a very important modifier word there.
The kids were fishing and no fish were biting, so he drove the tractor down the river to try and get the fish.
And waterlogged the tractor.
Yes.
he was driving up to the reservoir to check out and make sure it was okay, and I was putting the pedal to the metal because we have to go up the hill there, and she's like, yeah, and I saw the bridge bit on the top of it was broken, so it had fallen in, and she's like, oh, obviously you put on the brakes and you have to fucking walk back, that's why you took you so long. He's like, no, I fucking ramped that shit over, like gotta go right over, and then I had to hoof it back because my car was parked on the opposite side of the reservoir. And she's like, the man's like, every time he nearly fucking dies, he survives, but one of the cows dies in his stead. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, what is wrong? I say, what is wrong with these people? I know people like this. It's
Nowadays, he's no longer wearing Y-fronts around the house. He's switched to boxers. And he
wears his jacket.
He wears his jacket outside in the cold. As you said, yes, that was... Yeah, there was definitely some familiar elements there of rural life coming through. I think probably no matter where you live.
Listen, if you don't know someone who's driven down a river and got on a tractor waterlogged trying to scare fish, you definitely know someone who's fallen off a roof really fucking stupidly, basically. Like,
or has got out of the house in clothes, far less clothes than they should have done, just because
I mean, like, again, the logic of what does it matter if I'm only wearing my underpants? I'm only going to get covered in fucking shit and cow blood and fucking, it's cow birthing. I'm going to get messy anyway, so I might as well go out basically naked. Sure, that's the logical way to look at it there.
And then the final thing is Ikimono-san, Warfish, episode 7, Black Kite.
I was initially calling it Circle of Life until I looked up the actual title, because I was just like, I don't know what the fuck this is called, but it is a looping animation, I guess you'd go with. Yeah.
It is, yeah, but it sort of pulls out to show the elements.
Each section of the, of the circle of life, as I was initially calling it, basically.
So the boy is in the water. A kite
Under
flies
the
down,
river, yeah.
pulls him out the river,
And as he's getting his breath back, because he can't breathe underwater, he's a human boy. He pulls a fish out of his pants and gives it to the kite. Yes. And then, as soon as he gets his breath back, he's handed. Dog catches a fish, hands him a fish, puts it in his trunks, and then he goes back into the water so the kite can rescue him again and be paid in fish.
Yes. Then
the dog's part is the
dog's brought the fish with him.
Yeah, the dog's brought the fish with him. The kite deposits the eaten fish in the tank. So the dog pulls out the individual fish, gives it a kiss, and lets it off into the river to catch it.
Yes. Is the boy kissing the fish in underwater as well?
No, I think like we see the kite like feeding the fish to its chicks, and the fish comes out to go like blah 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 blah. It's a fish. It doesn't fucking talk. But I feel in my mind it's the fish coming out. Is like, I think I'm getting the raw end of this fucking deal, and the boy just pushes it back into his pants, basically.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yes.
That's how I'm interpreting it. Like, you have to interpret this show a little fucking bit.
Yeah, it's all in the eye of the beholder.
It's a very good fucking show, man.
It is.
My only problem with it is that they're only up for a week, and then you only have that to watch them. They're beautiful. They're beautiful little fucking things.
Oh, you hit that download button on the.
I'm fucking doing that. I am doing that because, like, I don't want it to disappear. I don't want to not be able to show my nephew this at some stage and him going like, "What the fuck are you watching, Uncle Dwayne?"
This is the one which felt the most like the game so far.
Actually, yeah, because it was the static shot and everything. Yeah, that's a good point. This better sell some of the fucking game for them. I mean, if this doesn't, I don't know what the fuck will.
Well,
it, $5?
Less than that. It cost. It was on sale and it cost me like £1.80. So
there you go.
Was,
yeah,
like $2.50 or something.
I gotta pick it up. Like it's given me enough laughs for me to throw some fucking money. Throw money its way. Yeah.
Press that space bar. That's it this week. Is Jujutsu Kaisen back next week?
Oh, jeez, I can't remember.
Off again, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's not really here very much for the foreseeable future. It's on and off.
So they finished off one. We'll see if they finish off any more than that.
Oh, you talk about Zone 100. Did I miss that on the list?
Wait, was that this week?
It was this week. Yes, you did.
Oh dear, no, I didn't watch it because I thought it was still off.
That's fine. We'll watch it next week because there isn't one next week. We'll watch it next week then.
It'll be an exception as well. Yeah.
Okie dokie. That'll be it. Will Niall ever return from answering the door, the phone, or something? We'll find out. You won't. I assume we'll be back next week, though.
Oh,
here he is.
Boo!
Any comments on the Noble Farmer and the Black Kite?
I wish my dad was that tough. He's not good help right now. But, maybe we should all be like striving to be in that had a kind of constitution at that age. So,
I think striving to be more sensible than that would be the thing to do.
Yeah. But then, you think he's up to fucking that kind of thing, carry on, but he's come out of it, he's walked away from it. But he just had that scar up here, and I guess one down here as well. I don't know what.
From when his spleen ruptured. Yeah.
Was that? I suppose you can infer. Well, it could be one of the many things that befell him.
That was a separate surgery. Don't worry about that.
Ikimono-san was just like, there's got a little production line going on here. It doesn't do anything except feed the little birds, but at least the fishes get some smooches, I suppose. But it was like circle of life and all that.
And Dwayne forgot to watch us on 100, so we'll talk about that next week.
Oh yes, well they forgot to make it. So
Partly my fault then.
Their schedule of that is gone to hell in a handbasket for the next couple of months, I think.
Yes, I think next week's one isn't their fault, but then all subsequent ones. I think all subsequent missing weeks is their fault.
Right.
We're back in like Uncle from Another World territory here, or if we get it all like before the end of the year, we won't be doing too bad.
Yeah.
Wait and see.
Yeah, we'll find out about that next week. For now, though, goodbye.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for your patience.